So I hit him today with the kimono shirt that my daughter brought from Japan. And then I hit him with the sushi earrings, with the chopstick, the wig, the glasses, ripped jeans, little boots. And then I had my Telfar Timberland bag, the little one. You couldn't tell me shit today. You couldn't tell me none today. I was giving. The girl was like, "You look so whimsical." I said, "Girl, I'm a little elf today." She said, "You look cute." Thank you. Now I'm home and I think I'm gonna make another YouTube video. Because something is amiss in the kingdom. That's my new saying. That's my new saying. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on my journey of healing, finding more peace, and being my authentic self, no matter what that looks like to anybody else. So, the last video I made, I touched on parenting yourself and what that looks like when you need to parent your inner child. And I haven't been to counseling in a while because I've been kind of busy, and then we had the snowstorm. So, I really need to get back into counseling because I need to, I guess, get some things out of my system. Um, because I feel like sometimes I don't like to look vulnerable, but I know that being vulnerable is where you get your power from, is where you get the peace and the tranquility that you need. And I keep wanting to talk about the journey I've been on with the whole divorce and what that looks like when you were basically a stay at home mom and not financially secure. But those of you that don't know me, I'm very spiritual. And so when the ancestors or the universe is leading me, I follow. Um, and so I just want to quickly touch on a subject that is highly disturbing. I'm going to take these off because the glare. It's a very sensitive, touchy subject, and I feel like it needs to be talked about because I don't know about other races and other cultures, but in the black household, for some reason, the pedo family members are always protected and the victims are always blamed. I feel like we need to normalize not leaving our children with family members. It is okay not to leave your children with family members, and we need to make that a norm. Because what I know is there is a lot of adults and teenagers touching little children. But you have to take a deeper dive into the situation, especially when it's other children or teenagers touching small children. Where did they learn that behavior from? It's always that someone did it to them. And in their mind, because this is what was told to me from the person that molested me, I'm going to be completely raw and honest here. Um, he told me that someone had done it to him and he did it to me. I'm grateful and thankful that it only happened once, but I remember it. And I remember how it made me feel. And then, like most of the times, when they can't groom the child, they make a threat to the child. And so there was a threat made to me, and I was like 5 or 6. And it made me think about a lot of things. But when I took a step back and I looked at black families, because I have friends, there is so much molestation going on. And there's two things that are always said. The first thing is the child is never believed. I was going to say the child is lying. And I was asked by several family members when they found out, why didn't I tell someone? Come on. Now, this came out about my molestation a couple of years ago. And family members called me, and everyone had the same question, why didn't I say something? I'm 5. Do you know how many women are assaulted who don't report it? But you want that kind of maturity or that kind of bravery, because you that's intimidating when someone has taken something from you or done something to you and you gotta repeat it. Like, I think it's on my shoulder. Like, your vulnerability is there and then you're reliving that moment. And that's why a lot of people do not come out. But I want to talk about this. It is not talked about enough that females do things to children just like men. And I feel like a lot of times a couple of people in the family know that this person is touching a child. I just feel that in my spirit. But people like to overlook stuff and again, victim blame that no one wants to face the truth. And what happens is now you have this child who has been completely violated, or this teenager has been completely violated. And where do you think that leaves them emotionally? It leaves them wondering, why me? If you lucky, it only happened to you once. But why is it so prevalent in the black household? Why aren't children being protected? Like, I don't want to tell my family members' business, but why wasn't we protected from those things? Why wasn't someone being vigilant? Because we literally are like it's more women and girls in our family than guys. And I feel like even that scenario left us as children vulnerable because there were no men to protect us. Most of us were raised in a single parent home, or our mother might have had a boyfriend that lived with us, but it was mostly single parent homes. None of our dads were actually in our lives. So again, that leaves children vulnerable and susceptible of someone taking advantage of that. And I made a Snapchat post. I was being funny, but I wasn't being funny. And I said, dads are so important when they are mentally healthy and they want to be in their children's lives. And I said, I know that there are women who tell men that they can't see their children, who deny it. You fight for your children. No matter what she says, you fight to be in your children's lives. You fight to be an active parent in your children's lives. And then I made a correlation because I don't think I want to bring that up on this. This this is too sensitive to bring up that funny portion of what I was gonna say. I'll do that shit later. But I was saying how children need protective fathers because you have these women who do not protect their children. And we all know that. We have these women who get with these very toxic men and they allow them to treat their children any kind of way. It's very rare that an active father who is in his child lives would allow a girl that he's dating or a woman he's married to mistreat his children. That's kind of rare. You rarely hear about that. It happens, but it's kind of rare. You have to fight to be in your children's lives. They didn't ask to be here, and they are to be protected. Like, and you gotta stop leaving your children with family members. Like, can literally count on my hand how many people I left my kids with, and two of them, well, three of them aren't even blood related to me. Okay, because I don't know who doing what, right? And you should always think, especially people with small children, you should always think they could be a pedophile. I hate to say this. You don't want to think this about your uncle, your auntie, and your cousin. Think it. Think it. And just because someone is a teenager or a preteen, they could be one too. Trust no one. And then if you unfortunately find out that your kid has been touched, do not victim blame your child. Do not ask your child why they didn't tell you. What you should be doing is grabbing your child, holding your child, loving on your child, and figuring out what are the next steps to do. Is it can I have proof to put this person in jail? Family members need to go to jail. They can go to jail for messing with your kid. And then you put your child in counseling so that they can heal that and get that out so that they don't repeat a cycle that has happened to them. We as a black community, we have to do better at protecting children. This has been the spirit just been on me to talk about this and I don't know why. I don't know who needs to hear this. Maybe I needed to hear this. I don't know. But black children need to be protected. Girls and boys. Not just girls. People just don't mess with girls. They do stuff to little boys too. They all need to be protected. And parents should be questioning their children. When your kid has normally been hanging around this family member and they no longer want to be around this person, you need to question that. When your kids start acting funny around certain family members, you need to question that. And I don't care who it is. My kid acting funny with a family member they never act funny with before, I'm pulling my kid. What is going on? But see, you have to have laid that foundation for your children to feel open to come and talk to you about anything. And a lot of kids don't feel that way because, again, I'm going to go back to this. A lot of parents don't show their children their human side. So when you don't show your children your human side, they don't make a connection with you on a human level. You're just their parent. You're not another human being that that's bleeding, that bleeds, that hurts, that cries, that laughs. You're just a parent because I don't see any human like qualities in you because you're making me feel like you don't do anything wrong or you've never done anything wrong. And I say this all the time too. My mother says, she makes this statement that irks the shit out of me. She says kids shouldn't always know what parents do. I think that is absolutely incorrect. I see that being a major problem because I don't see your human side. I don't correlate human things with you. I don't feel like I can be vulnerable with you about things that are going on with me because I don't see you as a human. You got to show your children your human side. And I'm not saying that you should tell your 5-year old some crazy stuff you did as a teenager. But if your children ask you a question, I always tell my kids the truth. I don't care what it looked like for me. I'm gonna tell my kids the truth, and then I might say, "And you want to know why I did it?" And I'm gonna explain why I did it. But I'm gonna tell them the truth, age appropriate truth. I'm not gonna be like, "No, I never did that." I grew up in boring ass Texarkana, Arkansas. You had to find shit to do, and trust me, found shit to do. So my kids ask me, "Did I do shit?" And I did it. I tell my kids, "Yes, I did it." And here's why I did it, and here's why I don't think you should do it. Because this is what happened when I did. You know, you gotta show your human like qualities to your children. We are living in a world where it's some sickos. And guess what? They in your family. The sickos are in your family. Most children do not get touched by non family members. It's always a family member. Or it's a friend of the family. It's Uncle so and so, and he's not nobody's damn uncle. Like, I guess my lasting thought is because I'm gonna wrap this up because my kid wants me to come watch TV with her, and I don't want to watch the damn Sopranos. Me and her don't like the same show, but guess what? My kid said she want me to come in there and watch TV with her. I'm gonna go in there and watch TV with my kid. I guess my lasting thought is this: let's normalize protecting our children. Let's normalize when we see things are amiss with our children, we ask questions. And it doesn't matter if it's our favorite uncle, our favorite auntie, our favorite cousin. It don't matter if it's our favorite brother or sister. When you see something going in a direction that is weird to you with your kid, you need to ask questions. Like, why don't you like Uncle so and so anymore? What's going on with you? And ask questions. So my lasting thought is be vigilant when it comes to your children. Keep a close eye on your children and allow your children to see you as a human being so that when things happen and things become awry and disgusting, they feel so comfortable to come and tell you no matter what threat this person made. They feel so comfortable to immediately come and tell you, and you can take action, however that is, to protect your child. So on that, I'm going to go watch The Sopranos with my kids. Y'all be blessed, be safe, find your peace, find your comfort, and I'm praying and manifesting that people who need to get healed are finding ways to get themselves healed. I don't like journaling, but I got the Shadow Book Journal and I'm going to start journaling. And then this, just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. The road is ugly, it's tough, it's rough, but once you get on that path of discovering yourself, falling in love with yourself, and finding your peace, the world opens up and you see the world in a different light. and you are able to tell your truth, and you don't care what anyone thinks about you telling your truth. So y'all be blessed.